We are back, everyone. Yes, back in business with the Matchday -1 show. It is brought to you by PointsBet, founding partner of Austin FC. Adrian, Healey, Michael Lahoud, back here at the nerve center of all things Verde and Black. St. David's Performance Center, and Mr. Lahoud back from a trip to Minneapolis, where you might have seen a certain game and a certain Verde and Black All-Star performing. How was your time up there?
It was time well spent. Beautiful city. We got to see family, friends, and football. All the things you want to do when you're
three
on.
Fs.
Yeah, the 3 Fs.
You thought it was all about the 3 Rs, but it's really the 3 Fs, isn't it?
Yeah. No, but it feels good to be back, and you get a taste of the celebration of soccer that is Major League Soccer this season, and Sebastian Driussi, one of the corner pieces.
It was fabulous just sitting back and watching him represent, and I think we were all delighted, but we were all also very pleased where the 30-minute mark arrives and off he comes, and it's like wrap him up in bubble wrap, get him on that plane back here, and mission accomplished. I think.
Well, I had my first beer after he came off the field. I was waiting for that, and I was thinking about Josh Wolf, Claudio Reyna, and the entire team and staff. I breathed a bit of a sigh of relief, and also celebration. Congratulations to you, Seba. You've represented the club well. Now it's time to get back to business.
And full marks for getting him back quick. He was back here training Thursday morning. 2 days of training. The team are ready to go ahead of Sporting Kansas City tomorrow night. Before we preview that, let's talk a little Verde and Black, because there's actually a game here tonight. And by here, I mean Palmer Field, which is just around the corner from where we're sitting at St. David's. And it's a big match, isn't it? Because it's the first match of its kind involving the next generation of Austin FC talent. So it's going to be an intra-squad game between members of the Austin U17 team, and it's going to be very much open to the public tonight. Friday night under the lights, perfect. Just around the corner from the pitch, lots of food and fun and beverages available. So good time available to be had by all tonight.
Yeah, it's a unique opportunity to see the pipeline of talent in this Austin FC Academy. This is an academy program that's had youth national team call-ups and also a very recent addition to the MLS Next All-Star game. So why not come out, support your team, support local, as they say in Texas.
Yeah, a banner year for the Austin FC Academy. We love to really mention that as often as possible, because it doesn't get the mainstream attention, obviously, that other things do around the club, but it's just such a vital part of what this club is doing and the future of this club. And the national team call-ups alone tell you what we are doing right. And you saw one of the academy members involved in the next pro game as well.
You take a lot of pride in being part of the club when you see the success going from top to bottom and vice versa. And I think of the Micah Burtons who have gotten call-ups, the Anthony Gonzalez's as well, and it's a kudos and testament to the belief in young people. Claudio Reyna and all the staff deserve credit, and these young players deserve credit, because I was a young player myself, and you have a choice to invest in yourself. You get to be here, you get to be amongst the pros, but now it's on you as a young pro and a young player to put in the work, to listen, to buy in, and these players are doing it. Yeah.
Testament to all the hard work being done behind the scenes by Tyson Wall and all the academy staff, and Claudio Reyna as well, leading the charge. So come out tonight, support the club. Kicking around on a Friday night, looking for some football-related activity. A lot of fun. There'll be a lot of good times to be had up here at the pitch and watching the intra-squad game. And then, of course, we move to tomorrow night, and the August homestand continues, Michael. The rematch, Sporting Kansas City, just a couple of weeks after we went up there and beat them rather handily in the end by 2-0. Lots of interesting storylines coming into this one. What's top of your mind thinking about tomorrow night?
Top of my mind is mentality. I'm going to rewind it, go further back to last year in November, where the tables were turned. We were in Sporting Kansas City's position, and Sporting Kansas City were in our position, pushing at the top of the table. And the difference in that game was mentality. That is the key word, and I'm going to say it week in and week out, and I hope it's tolerable, because those are what the best teams in Major League Soccer do. That's been one of the differences for Austin FC this season. On the road, the mentality has been excellent. Now they have to just notch it up one more against the Sporting Kansas City team that is going to be hungry, and they're going to have revenge on their minds, because Austin FC played them off the park last time at home.
Yeah, I guess the first question is how many disallowed goals will we have this time? after the bar was set high with 4 at Children's Mercy Park. Still think that last one was onside. Yeah. But that was it's funny. Sometimes timing plays into it in this game. We caught Sporting Kansas City at a good time, didn't we, 2 weeks ago?
Very good time.
They'd come off the Open Cup midweek defeat. Wasn't even there. There were some players who we may not see tomorrow night. They may be bringing back some of their more regular starters. So it just seems to me that even though that win was comprehensive 2 weeks ago, this is a whole different. I mean, almost forget about that. This is a whole different test tomorrow.
Well, it's a whole different game.
Yeah.
When you play a full strength team and a team that's coming off a very sound victory, with some of their starters and new additions getting on the scoreboard, they're going to have a sense of confidence and determination about them. And for Austin FC, you have to match that. Yeah. If you match that, if the Verde and Black match that, the soccer will take over.
Yeah. One of the many things I like about this team this year, Michael, is their ability to brush off a setback. And I think we can call last week a setback, even though it was a point. Could have been worse, but it was a point. But it was still a setback, given that we probably should have put the game away in the second half and didn't. But whenever there has been a setback, they've bounced back the next game this year. You look at it, they've only lost consecutive games once all season long, and that's the mark of a team who are together and have some resiliency. So, again, coming off a setback at home, can they bounce back and really right the ship tomorrow is the question.
I think they have a great opportunity because the P word that we used many a time and has been used in Major League Soccer circles is going to be number one on their mind. I'm talking playoffs. When you get points, now this is all about getting into that playoff line, getting over that playoff line, and then everything else falls into place. And these are the games, these are the teams. Josh Wolf talked to us about it, getting maximum points against these type of teams in Sporting Kansas City who are desperate to keep their playoff hopes alive, getting just nail in the coffin sort of mentality and execution. That sets you up well for the massive run-in that is to come the remainder of the month, next month.
Yeah. 48 points was enough to make the playoffs last year. So I think, and that's the total they can get to with a win tomorrow. And I think mentally that would be a big moment for the club. I mean, still with 9 games to go after tomorrow, it would just to get past that, to put that behind, say, okay, we've got to enough that would have got us in the playoffs last year. They keep on talking about 50 points as being the high watermark to get to, but I think a win tomorrow night psychologically carries a lot more weight than just the 3 points.
When you play against teams near the bottom of the table, you can get up for the LAFCs. You're going to get up for the Nashville's, teams that have a healthy position over the playoff line. But when you're playing against teams that have nothing to lose, they're going to give it their all. There's a different confidence, determination, and also they're going to ask so much of you. Yeah. And you're going to have to go the distance. We saw that last week against San Jose, playing for their very season lives. And they stuck around, and now it's about just the killer blow. Good teams in Major League Soccer, teams that get in the playoffs, this is where they build momentum and land the killer blows no matter who plays against them and no matter who comes to Q2 Stadium.
Yeah. So a lot to look forward to tomorrow. Sporting Kansas City. Tell me this one thing. We've played them 4 times. Something has happened in all of those 4 games. Something the same has happened. I don't know if you can tell me what that is. Can you?
We're playing Jeopardy on Matchday Minus 1, and this is my favorite category. How many games has Austin FC scored the first goal?
All 4. Oh, you are correct. You've nailed it. So all 4 games against Kansas City got the first goal, and tomorrow it would be nice to see them come out and do that. They obviously did last week against San Jose, and then that game became crazy, didn't it? Chaotic. Sporting Kansas City are not that sort of team. They, as Josh Wolf said, they haven't changed the way they play in 10 years.
No.
It's 4-3-3. You know what you're going to get from them. Try and overload the left-hand side. So you know what you're getting. Can they get it? Can they take this game by the scruff of the neck at home? I think that's the key question we're waiting to answer.
Yeah, you're playing against a team who, by tradition, and they're the same team that even when I was playing, you knew what you're going to get at home, especially really aggressive. They're going to throw a ton of numbers forward, and they're high risk, high reward. And especially right now, either they don't score a goal or they put 4 past you. They've always been that way. But when you play them, when you're hosting them at Q2 Stadium, they're going to want to make it high tempo. Transition is the name of the game with them. They're going to sit in a mid-block and then try and disrupt and hit you on the counter. They live and die by their wingers. Johnny Russell, Daniel Shallowy, they both weren't on the field at the same time last game when we play them in Kansas City. They will be starting. I expect them to play the full 90 this game. They are a handful when they get going. So Austin FC outside backs were very good. Johnny Gallagher, the Irishman, beat the Scotsman last game. More of the same, please. And Nick Lima, thought that was one of his best games in Austin FC colors. For sure. And arguably one of the men of the match that game. Good candidate for that worthy shout. Those two will need to have a big game for the Verde and Black tomorrow night. Yeah, absolutely. The stretch run truly beginning, and I would love to see Q2 as rocking as it always is. They will need your support tomorrow, definitely through the entirety of this stretch run. It's easy to say, midsummer game against a team at the bottom of the table, and kind of take the foot off the gas a little bit in terms of the support. I know it's not going to happen. I'm just saying, just make it as loud as, even louder than normal, because this team responds, don't they? It's fantastic to see. So, Sporting Kansas City in town. Let's lead us towards the element that so many people wait for. It's like, what is it going to be? It's like we can't actually finish our Friday until we know what it's going to be. What is the Lahoud mood heading into game number 25 of the season? Can you believe we're saying that? Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. Well, right now, as you see, the mood is scruffy, but that's going to change ahead of the broadcast tomorrow night. But make no mistake about this one, the mood is combative. Feeling very combative, especially getting the celebration of the All-Star game out of the way. Now it's back to business. And for Austin FC to get back to business, in the win column, they'll have to do these two things. It's the pre-mood, so that's why the scruff is here. But the pre-mood feel is, number one, make runs in behind. Last time when they played Sporting Kansas City, the runs in behind were to devastating effect. All 4 goals that were close to standing, it was runs initiating and stretching this SKC backline because they throw so many numbers forward. And it leads me to the second pre-mood feel, which is stay compact, stay connected. Austin FC at their best is a team that's compact, that shifts up and down the field together. Austin FC, that we saw in the last week in the Red Bulls game, is sometimes they struggle when they get disconnected, when the front 2 or front 3 are pressing on their own, and it's like a can that opens up, and they're a bit vulnerable to the counterattack. But this is a Verde and Black team that learns from mistakes of the past and learns very quickly, so I expect them to rebound in this match. Yeah, it has been a conundrum at home, isn't it? Teams coming in and kind of knowing how we're going to play and just kind of sitting there in that midfield box, keying in and trying to pick us off. It's a very different sort of problem than the ones we face on the road, isn't it? At home, and just trying to negotiate that. We haven't stopped scoring goals. That's the great thing. That's a very during this run of results that haven't always gone the way we wanted at home. 1 win in 6. Haven't stopped scoring goals at all in that time. So that's a positive. Well, it's so hard. We're talking to you as fans about the atmosphere to help create the atmosphere, sustain the atmosphere at Q2 Stadium. I'm going to start doing broadcasts in boots and cleats because I get so hyped, and the caffeine's flowing right now, but I get so hyped for games because I would have loved to play in a stadium like this, in an atmosphere like this. And I just can't imagine what the players feel on the field. And I can because I've been there as a player, but it's to a whole nother level that we haven't seen yet in Major League Soccer. And when you're a player, it's so hard to just quell that onus to go and press, to go and just go all out. And for these players, I can understand some of that, but you have to manage those emotions. You have to manage the desire to be all out because that makes it a transition game. And teams are successful when they make games transition games and really struggle when the Verde and Black set up shop, move them side to side, and play the Austin FC way, which is death by possession and death by execution in the final third. Yeah. Wasn't it great during the week to hear Sebastian Drusi talking to national media about just how phenomenal Q2 is and how it sort of even surpassed his expectations coming here? And this is someone who's played,
to pack stadiums all over Europe and South America, and he kind of knew sort of what he was getting into, but just I forget the exact phrase he used, but it was just pure astonishment that it was this good. It was great to hear him say that.
He's not only the standard bearer in terms of how he's playing. We see it. He's leading the league in goals for a reason, but just his commitment to the cause on both sides of the ball, and the goal he scored, the second goal. Yeah. We scored. It's those are the fine margins of the small details that separate him, his work ethic. And it's one thing to do it on the road, but to do it in the stretch that he's done it, you're going to need that from him and all the players to feed off the crowd and use that energy for good, because teams don't know what to do with it and won't know what to do with it when they come here.
I still say his second goal was a hockey goal. It was the first ever NHL goal scored in MLS. It was truly unique. So let's start to wind things up with a moment of gratitude. And we want to shine a light on Austin Pets Alive this week, because they do such a great job, showcasing adoption eligible dogs. There's one before every home game. I think last year, what was it, 18? Oh, all 18 honorary mascots so far have found forever homes through Austin Pets Alive. But we have a big one this week, because our little pup is called Charles Dickens. He's already been adopted before he even gets to the stadium by,
drumroll please,
our own Mr. DP, Danny Pereira. He's gonna adopt Charles Dickens, but he wants to rename him. And he's going to ask for fans to weigh in on whether he should rename him Kevin or Chopper. Two very different names.
I know my
choices.
I know my pick.
What are you going?
It's got to be Chopper.
It's got to be Chopper. No love for Kevin.
Yeah, there's plenty of good Kevins around the world, but there's only one Chopper. Come on, Danny.
Yeah. So Danny is going to be the proud adoptee of. I'm not actually sure what type of dog it is. Did we see what type of dog it is? Is it a bulldog?
I don't. I'm big bulldog fan myself, but no, I didn't get the breed.
Yeah, no, I think I kind of got a feeling it is a bulldog. I don't know that for sure, so don't hold me to that. But kudos to Danny P and also to Austin Pets Alive. It's something we'd love to show more of on the TV broadcast. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where the timing doesn't quite work to bring the dog out on the pitch at the same time the players are there. But they've Austin Pets Alive have done a great service to find so many homes for new animals over the last year and a half. So
it's a testament to one of the values of the club and community.
Yeah,
and hey, pets are a part of the community, and who doesn't love a good dog? No. Nothing versus to cat lovers.
Right.
Cats are cool too. Hung out with one this past week. But, cute pups.
Is Danny P going to be taking him for a walk, or is he going to be pulling Danny P for along in the morning?
Well, you know he's going to be part of his off-season workout routine. Right. The dogs, our dogs at home, we take them for workouts. So hopefully Danny P will be doing it for next off-season.
Great stuff. Okay, it just remains to say join us. Remember the pitch tonight, Palmer Field, if you're looking for a little U17 Academy intra-squad activity. You see all the rising stars in the Austin system in one place. That's tonight. And then tomorrow night, Sporting Kansas City, we will have the pregame show. We're on the CW tomorrow. Pregame show at 7:30. Claudia Reyna, sporting director, will be joining us at the desk for a portion of that pregame show. And then 8 o'clock start, 8:08 kickoff time. Can't wait, Michael. Back in the saddle.
Yeah. Hey, let's go.
Yeah, indeed. Thanks for being with us. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, everyone. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.